Apple has just rolled out iOS 18.4 Beta 2, and if you're wondering what's new and whether you should update, let's go through everything step by step. This update brings some exciting features, performance improvements, and changes that might affect how you use your iPhone. For those using older iPhones, this update is quite significant. The update size varies depending on the device, with the iPhone 16 Pro getting a 1.34 GB update. In contrast, older devices might see a much larger download, especially if they haven't been updated in a while, some even reaching up to 7 GB. Once installed, the build number changes from Beta 1 to Beta 2, and there's also an update to the modem firmware, moving from version 1.5 3.02 to 1.5 4.00. One of the fun additions in this update is the inclusion of new emojis. Apple has also introduced priority notifications, allowing users to manually select the most important alerts. If you're tired of getting notifications from apps like Tips, Test Flight, or certain game settings, you now have the option to turn them off completely. For those who use Apple Wallet, subscription payment options are now visible, making it easier to manage recurring payments. However, Apple Pay still isn't available in India, so that remains unchanged. The Shortcuts app also gets some new functions, allowing users to create shortcuts for calendar settings and actions, making automation even more convenient. Apple Intelligence is taking another step forward with this update, but only for iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max users. A new feature called Visual Intelligence has been introduced, which can be accessed via the Action button, Control Center, or Assistive Touch. Meanwhile, over on the App Store, there's now an option to pause and resume app updates, which is a small but handy improvement. Bug fixes and known issues are, of course, part of the package. Some device rebooting problems have been resolved, but a few known issues persist, such as Apple Intelligence not working properly unless Siri is enabled, at least for non-English US users. There are also reports of Wi-Fi calling issues in the US, with Apple suggesting that users experiencing major problems may want to roll back to iOS 18.3. As for battery life, improvements are expected, but it's still too early to say for sure. Performance, on the other hand, is showing clear improvements, with better CPU scores in both single-core and multi-core benchmarks. GPU performance remains stable, and the new modem firmware might bring better network performance as well. Now, the big question: should you update? If you're already using Beta 1, updating is a good choice since it brings some improvements and fixes. But if you're on a stable version like iOS 18.3.1 and your device is running smoothly, you might want to wait, as beta versions can still have unexpected issues. iOS 18.4 Beta 2 introduces new features, better performance, and some handy tweaks, but it's not without its risks. As with any beta, some bugs may still pop up. If you're updating, just be ready for any surprises. That's a wrap on iOS 18.4 Beta 2. What do you think? Are you updating or skipping this one? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you stay updated. See you in another video. Until then, goodbye.